The Canadian delegation is in China to foster relations between our two countries, but critics were dismayed to find out that the case of the two Canadian men wasn't even on the agenda. But in the end, it was China who brought up the issue. We begin with CBC Asia correspondent Saša Petricic and how it all unfolded.
It was a day full of smiles and photos as the Canadian parliamentary group toured Shanghai. In stop after stop, they had lunch with politicians from the Shanghai People's Congress. They toured an NGO center and the iconic Oriental Pearl Tower. By all accounts, it seemed like a routine visit meant to foster better relations between Canada and China. Except, of course, there's nothing routine about relations between the countries these days. They have been going downhill rapidly, upended by the arrests here in China last month of two Canadians who are still being interrogated by Chinese security forces, and they face very serious accusations. Well, today, apparently, all of this came to a head in an hour-long meeting between Chinese officials and the Canadian parliamentary group. That, according to the leader of that group, Senator Joseph Day, a Liberal.
The gist of the message is that the executive branch of Canada has asked for their immediate release because they haven't been informed of what charges there may be against them. They haven't had open access to either lawyers. We told them that in any international standard is not fair.
Day says that came after Chinese officials demanded to know why Canada was holding Meng Wanzhou, the Huawei executive who was arrested at Washington's request. China believes there's politics involved, that the leaders of the U.S. and Canada want to put pressure on Beijing through the Huawei arrest. So, did any of this change the prospects for the two Canadians who are held in Chinese jails?
Whoever knows on these things, I think the fact that we had an open and frank discussion, and it was very frank. There was nothing held back on this. I think anytime you do that, that creates opportunities.
And for the record, there's been no change in the Chinese position in any of this. Saša Petricic, CBC News, Shanghai.